This sode would not be possible without the support of our listeners, patrons, and sponsors. If you'd like to learn more about supporting the 3-Bit Gamer Show, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/3BG. And a huge thanks goes out to our boss-level patrons, Jeff, Christopher, and Patrick.
Quick! Peterson's on a baby high. You can say anything you want to him.
Peterson, don't you think that Karl Malone was underrated and underappreciated in his time?
Yeah, you could say that, man.
Hey, Peterson, I just sent you a video about why Jaden Smith's Karate Kid was better than the original.
All right, man. Sounds good.
It's almost 3 hours long.
Guess I'll just pop some popcorn then.
Is this really how he gets every time he sees a baby?
Yeah, dude, why do you think he has 4 kids?
Jinkies.
Okay, that's enough!
You've just logged into the 3-Bit Gamer Show.
Yeah, just like that. Or else that's enough!
Damn it! Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And this is Trent.
And sorry Quinn wasn't able to make it.
I finally... Trent's baby is 14 months old, and I finally got to meet her, and she's so
Cutest
cute.
baby of all. The first thing Trent's baby does when she sees you is cracks the biggest
grin.
smile.
Just the cheesy smile, dude.
Huge cheesy smile with big old dimples.
Yep.
And it's
2
like
teeth.
she knows it's cheesy too. That's
I
my
know.
favorite. She's like,
Yeah.
hey.
She knows what she's doing.
Yep.
Dude, she hams it up for the camera, too.
And she waved.
She always knows when
Does
there's a
not
camera on
surprise
her.
me.
She's like,
I love it.
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. All right. Our news this week, as with all weeks, is brought to us by Crave Cookie. That was rude.
that's good. I like that.
It was rude.
That's rude. He was interrupting you.
This jerk talked over me.
Easy.
Guys, Crave Cookies, our sponsor. Go to cravecookies.com so you can check out the cookies that Trent. Do you know next week's Sneak Peek of the Week cookie?
I got 2 Sneak Peek of the Week cookies.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear them.
Okay, first one is, if you've seen that cream savers are coming back soon.
Yes.
We decided we had to do a cream saver cookie.
Okay, how'd you figure this out?
This was an Annie-vention.
Okay.
She just loves doing frosting stuff. So she just played around with it and came up with, we're doing the orange creamsicle. Like the orange cream saver this time.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she made them both, but this week it's the orange one. And so it's just, it's a sugar cookie. It's mostly just the frosting that's making this flavor, but it's like a swirled vanilla and orange buttercream on
Nice.
top of it. So that's delicious. And then the other one is the Oreo cheesecake. So Oreo's always like a hit flavor
You
when
guys
we
do
do stuff
sinful
with it.
stuff with Oreos. That's what I'm just sitting
Yeah.
here thinking.
And so this one's got, it's just like a vanilla dough that's got a bunch of Oreo chunks in it, and then it has a cheesecake filling,
Oh my god.
and then it's rolled in like the crushed Oreo powder, so it gets like a little crunchy crust on the outside.
Oh my god.
And then
Have you done that before? The Oreo crust?
Nah, dude.
An
Yeah, I
Oreo
don't think
crusted
so.
cookie?
I saw
don't even
another
think
place do it,
I've
and I was
ever
like,
heard of that.
That looks fun.
Doing it.
And then the
Nice.
white chocolate on top, because Oreos and white chocolate just taste so good together.
Oreo crusted
Dude, that's awesome.
cookie.
So that's next week.
That's next week.
My
All right.
God. All right. So get down to Crave Cookies, Midvale, Utah, or cravecookies.com if you just want to salivate over the cookies. All right, guys. Well, let's get into some news. Halo's community manager has revealed that Halo Infinite won't have experience points, just a battle pass.
How do you have a battle pass without experience points?
It's just
I guess?
challenges. It's
You
just challenges.
You progress through the battle pass.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So John,
Junzik.
just like a bunch of letters there.
Junisek.
I'm sure that is absolutely not how it is pronounced.
Now I got to look it
But
up.
John Junisek is the community manager for 343 Industries that makes Halo. And yeah, if people will, the long and short of it is that 343 and Microsoft want people coming back to play compulsively, and they have decided that they can do that via challenges, daily challenges, whatever types of things that all ultimately feed into a battle pass. The alternative to this for the people that don't play a ton of multiplayer games like this is experience points, which you just generally get for everything. Everything you're doing, you're gaining XP.
They're satisfying.
Because they're satisfying, and hey, you have a game where you guys lose really badly, but you did really well and got a lot of kills. Well, you're going to get a lot of experience. The alternative with challenges is like kill 10 people from behind with a knife, or like win 10 games on this map. So you have people that get into games, and if they don't do the challenge, or either they're only working on the challenge because that's all they care about.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to win a game, and someone's trying to run behind someone and stab them.
Get you with the knife.
And then they get their challenge and quit.
And then they get their challenge and
over.
quit, right? Or that they don't get the map they want, so they instantly drop at the beginning of the game. There's a lot of inherent problems with these
dumb.
challenges, but what they do is hit the thing that Peterson talks about all the time, is this gambling like vein that people have, where it's like, gotta keep coming back, keep coming back.
Yep.
And then if you don't get the challenge, like Trent said, you drop the game, and you're not dropping it to quit, you're dropping to go play again. But
I don't get the purpose, because the challenges have always existed anyways. You just got bonus XP for them, so that's how you got your big like level chunks, is by completing those. So it just seems like you're removing a feature.
That's
not
what I
making
was
it better.
wondering, because there's going to be games that you play where you won't hit any of your challenge objectives, even though you're trying. You should still get
There should still be some sense
to
of
move
progression.
along the
Here's
battle
what makes
pass.
that worse is that during the tech preview of the game actually ran out of challenges.
Oh, well,
So-
that's
so
the
at
other
that
thing.
point-
Clearly, they're on the right path.
Yeah. Like, why am I playing at that point at all? Like,
They need to follow Rocket League's model. They do it really well. You get XP for playing, but like you said, you get the big XP boosts for doing the challenges, and they have daily challenges, which are pretty easy, which is fine.
yeah.
And then there's weekly challenges that are harder, and they stack, right? Week one, I mean, they don't go away when week one's over. They just stay. And so there's 12 weeks of challenges that will pile up. So every week you're like, oh, here we go, new challenges, and you jump in. So by week 7 or 8, you've got so much to do.
Yeah.
And it's usually simple things like you could do normally, right? Or you could try really hard and focus on doing that. But yeah, that's the way I like it. Just have so much to do. Fortnite's the same way. If I go and look at my missions on Fortnite, I bet right now I have 30 that I could just make progress on.
Do you actually care about those? Like, if a
Yes.
game didn't have those, you'd be bummed? Like,
Yes.
because Shiv doesn't have them.
Yeah,
You wish
and
that
I
Shiv had
wish
challenges.
Shiv had them.
Ugh.
It's because it's just a nice little extra thing to do.
Yeah, but what if it's like get a kill with a barrel, and you get into every single fucking map, and everyone's just chucking.
Everyone's
Okay, no,
It'd be
that
pretty
sounds
funny.
dope. That sounds dope.
well,
I
and
guess because
usually
Chivalry's built for silly nonsense, but a game
Yeah.
that people take super seriously, like Halo,
Yep. They
that
just gotta
doesn't
be smart
really
about
mesh.
it.
Like Halo is it's like an elite multiplayer, I guess, where it's like people really, really take it seriously.
Well,
If there's an esport for it,
right.
you shouldn't be pulling this shit.
Well, what Fortnite does is there's simple challenges like, chop down 10 trees. And once you do that, then that challenge upgrades to, chop down 50 trees. And then once you get that, now chop down 100. You know what I mean?
believe you like this
and the
stuff.
challenges just keep upgrading.
But you don't
So
get
upsetting.
anything for it. Do you get like a skin if you complete them all?
Well,
or
you
something?
get XP, and the battle pass, the Fortnite, every level you get something. You
So
unlock
that's what I'm saying.
something.
So if you remove the bonus XP and it's just challenges.
Well, yeah, so you need XP plus challenges with bonus XP so you can get through the battle pass. Because when I played Warzone, I never ever once, because you still get XP when you're playing, even if you bought the battle pass or not. That's like how they sell it to you. They say, oh, look where you would be on the battle pass. You can buy right now and unlock all this stuff. I played a lot of Warzone, and I never once got up to level 100 on the battle pass. Fortnite I do all the time.
Yeah.
Warzone, it was like, dude, I'd have to grind so
Which is what
hard
they're
to
going to
get
do.
it.
Which is what I feel like they'll do with Halo.
Yeah.
Is they'll make it hella grindy.
It's
So
just real grindy.
I don't know. It's a strange choice.
It's Unishek, by the way. That's his last name.
You're going to say
Unishek.
that's what his Twitter handle is.
Yep. Unishek.
Oh, all right. EVGA has attributed GeForce RTX 3090 failures in Amazon's New World to faulty soldering.
So, yeah, this was, if you remember, this was the Amazon New World beta was destroying people's 3090 graphics cards,
which is a $1,500 graphics card out to base, but I think that some of these were more than that, and that's if you can actually get it at retail. So you drop $2,000 on the highest end card, and New World is frying it, and now they're saying, "Oh, it was the soldering on there."
And it wasn't even the real game.
No, it was the beta.
So who's at fault for this?
Here's what happened. The poor soldering on its own wouldn't have necessarily killed the cards, but New World's beta didn't institute a frame rate limiter on menus or loading screens, sometimes leading cards to jump from a cool 100 frames per second to over 800 frames per second.
It's just pushing itself as hard as it can go on the loading screen.
On the loading screen, on the menu, I get for like the 1 millisecond. If someone had like an
because
ultimate
the only
rig,
visible frame moving is a bar.
Yeah.
There's nothing else on the whole screen.
But there was 1 millisecond on one person's rig with a 4K setup where they saw the face of fucking God because they saw 800 frames per second.
It was just,
and they were like,
incredible.
And then the card exploded, their computer melted through the floor.
They sizzle down by their...
This is
but they're like, it doesn't matter. I saw 800 FPS.
I saw it.
I've seen it.
Look how great it was. This is like if you were, this is like an NFL game, like in warm-ups, if they were going as hard as they could, just hitting each other as hard as they can, just... the whole team is injured before the game starts. That's what
they have bragging rights, so it doesn't matter. They hit 800 frames per second.
They got 800 FPS.
So yeah, basically that was what had happened. But they said that it was combined with the poor soldering caused the affected cards to overheat. I still think it's on the card manufacturer. And you can blame soldering, but aren't these... They're supposed to shut down.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There should be some sort of fail-safe to make it
that doesn't seem to be affected by the soldering. But
there's like
maybe
several
I don't understand
points of failure here.
Engineering. Yeah, they're like... It's like everyone knows what went wrong, but then they're like, oh, this was fucked up too.
We also had bad soldering. Hey,
the fans were falling off.
They're like, guys... You don't have to tell us everything you
guys,
did wrong.
Like, we knew what happened. They should have been... Like, this is new information, but this is what we were estimating about had happened a month ago or two, was that they just didn't limit the frame rate.
Dude, so good.
Or shut the card down after that. Yeah, so good job. Keep... I just think that's so weird that it's like your flagship card. You spend that much money on producing it. You do all this stuff.
The one card that should have every possible protection against this.
This should probably
1,000%.
I want my expensive card to work. Riot has hired an ex-Netflix executive to develop original films, TV, and animated shows.
So we've been seeing recently, video game executives move over to streaming services, Netflix, Amazon Prime, right? So they can lend some of their video game creativity and knowledge into the streaming world to make TV shows, to make movies around the video games. This is the other way around. Flip it. You have a next Netflix executive moving over to Riot because Riot, who...
Why would anyone go to Riot?
Ooh.
Like, let shit die down a little bit. But I guess we've been waiting for 18 months for shit to die down, and they can't help themselves.
No. So the Riot is the company that makes League of Legends, the notably most toxic game that's ever existed.
Yeah, probably ever.
And let's see, they've got a couple other games out there, and they've got a couple other games in development. Now Riot is getting into film. They want to have like Riot Entertainment Studios where they're making cartoons. There's one out there actually. The trailer's out there that they're working on, and it's in the League of Legends universe. Which, I'm gonna put this out there. I hope that this is great, right? I hope it's good, right? Because I don't like to see video game stuff fail all the time,
right?
But I am 0% confident this will be good, and here's why.
They have built so bad.
The lore is so bad,
so inconsistent.
It makes no sense.
Nonsensical
TV shows and movies and animated series.
It's just going to be a nonstop hand wave.
How are you just that confident in a single IP?
Fine. That's wild. And the IP sucks. The lore sucks. I think it's a play for China because China loves League of Legends and everything about it. They've got the characters painted on the subways. It's huge. And they definitely don't care about toxicity in some California studio. Who gives a shit. I think this is a play for China to just have content for that you can sell over there.
It's just such a funny studio to be doing this because, like, League of Legends is a game where they make characters. There's probably a couple hundred characters in there now, right? They make characters not with story in mind, and then they're doing it backwards. So you're not like, okay, here we go. We've got a king, a ninja, a girl pirate, a boy pirate, a monkey, a scorpion, a spider, and
a scarecrow.
And then scarecrow, and then these fuzzy little stuffed animal little things. And it's like they've got everything. There's a guy there's a robot. There's a little girl who plays with a stuffed animal.
There's a guy that just drives a robot.
There's a guy that drives... Like, none of it makes sense.
There's a guy that hits people with a lamppost.
Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's nonsense.
Yeah.
Guys, it is... There's
and
a
now
troll.
we have to come up with a reason for all of these
Yes,
things.
and then they're like, well, here's how it fits. And they've all got, like, backstories. And you're like,
actually,
sorry,
that
I can't
sucks.
care about this.
Yeah.
I can't... That's the part of League that I cared about the least.
But yeah, make a show out of it. I'm sure that's going to be a banger.
A lot of shows out of it.
Yeah,
and then a scarecrow shows up. Oh, a blob guy shows up. And you're like...
Oh, yeah, Zach. Yeah, you're like, none of this makes sense.
None of it. Think of any animal, any like like big animal, not like random animals. They have a character about that. Every single one of them.
There's a werewolf.
There's a wolf. There's spiders.
He's a werewolf, but there's like no mention of his human form, I don't think.
No, he's just a wolf the whole time, isn't he?
Yeah.
And you got, is it Fizz who like attacks with a shark or something?
Yeah.
There's a fish that commands sharks.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. Like every animal, every like big cool animal. Like if you took the roster of a Pee Wee League soccer team.
Oh yeah, the Tigers.
All the mascots, they've got them all. They've got every single one of them. Anyway,
terrible.
Let's make a story about that.
The upgrade strategy for Horizon Forbidden West straight up sucks.
Dude, okay. I don't know if you read this story at all.
Yes. Do you want to describe it? Because it's bad.
Yes. So Horizon Forbidden West. I mean, so imagine you are a Horizon Zero Dawn fan. What is it? It pulled up a video ad.
For what?
So on that story that I opened up.
Oh, that's nice.
That was fun.
Cool.
So Horizon, you're a PlayStation fan. You're in the same rut as everyone else. You only have a PS4. Can't get your PS5. You love Horizon Zero Dawn, so you buy Horizon Forbidden West, the next game.
Sick. Sounds good.
If you just buy the game, right, the digital regular version on the PS4, you will not be able to play it on the PS5. You have to fork out the extra cash.
Well, I can play the PS4 version on the PS5.
So you have to fork out the extra cash to buy the digital ultimate deluxe version. So they'll give it to you on the PS5. The PS5 version on the PS5.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of, so you're not buying a license to the game anymore when you buy the digital. You're buying...
It's like locked.
Dude, it's crazy.
So unless you have to buy so if you get the standard or special edition, the special edition, which you'd assume, you get it on the PS4, it just like, you could play it on the PS5, but it will deliberately look shittier than it needs to because on purpose, because you didn't buy the digital deluxe, the collectors, or the regalia editions. Are you kidding me? Guys, there is standard, special, digital deluxe, collectors, and regalia.
Yes. Why? Dude,
I fucking hate capitalism, dude.
This is...
How much is the regalia edition?
I don't know.
Have they said?
You
Like
have to literally
$160?
chop off a limb.
Well, I think that's the one where you get the statue.
Send in a pinky.
Oh.
So you're going to get it's probably $200. But that's the thing. If you don't spend over $100 on this game, you won't be able to play the PS5 version.
That's okay. I can get a PS5. It's fine.
It's fine.
This
I don't
is
even want
entirely
it.
theoretical.
I'll play it for you guys.
Fuck you.
You know what?
No, I'm not hearing it. Cyberpunk 2077 isn't wet enough anymore.
I don't like this headline.
I get it, dude. That's like one of the main features of a cyberpunk aesthetic, right?
It's all
like
wet.
If it's not wet enough, it's not cyberpunk.
Water running off of neon. Is there a Cyberpunk in the desert? I don't think
I've
so.
I've never seen it.
I don't want to see it,
dude. Their whole theme is men's restroom.
Yeah.
Everything's wet.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Men's
Public
restroom,
bathroom.
Men's restroom at like a football game.
Yeah, just
At a sporting
on like a rainy
event.
day.
Yeah.
Everything's wet.
Yep.
That's what they want it to feel like.
There's like everyone leaves their empty bottles that they've snuck into the stadium on the urinal. That's the aesthetic in Cyberpunk, and they have removed that.
How dare they?
The latest update has made the cars look much more matte. There are literally fewer puddles on the ground.
Is this just so that it's playable on old consoles again?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
We're going to make it worse for all of you.
They're pulling stuff
Yes,
out.
they're literally removing things from the game
That's
to improve the
absurd.
frame rate at this point. Imagine you're the guy that you're like, you worked and busted your hump 24/7, and you are a environmental artist at CD Projekt Red, and you're working on the water effects, which you probably were hired specifically because your portfolio shows that you can make cool water
wet.
effects. And you crunch, you work so hard, and you get the shiniest, wettest game out the door.
Everything's shiny.
It is slick as hell. It just slips right out the door. And you're like, okay, cool. My wet art is good. I can like go get a new job at a better studio. And then you see this story, and the one thing you did on this game, the one thing that actually got out the door, the wetness.
Oh, and it was
they
such
took
good
it out.
wetness.
They took out my moist.
They took
game.
out wet. Everything's dry. It's dry as a desert out here now.
There's no corners anymore. Everything is a straight square polygon. They're just stripping it down to the wireframe, and they're gonna build back up.
Not even going to build back up. we need to play this on the PS2
It's
now.
gonna be Cyberpunk 2070 in Minecraft.
1077.
Cyberpunk 32-bit.
It's the episode of
feature.
Cyberpunk 64.
the episode of Rick and Morty where they put Rick and Morty in the simulation, and then Jerry ends up in there somehow.
Yeah.
And the Hungry for Apples one.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be. Yes. Every single character
They just strip all the voice lines out because those audio
they just
files
sit still
were
and say yes.
were just too much. We can't load all those. So
We're
gonna
all
strip
Jerry
that all out.
now.
Everyone's Jerry, the same voice actor for everyone. Way to go. It's not wet and
My
It's just
man.
like Microsoft Sam the
Yeah.
whole time now.
Sounds good. Okie dokie. Game Boy games may be soon coming to the Nintendo Switch Online. Guys!
Here we go.
We don't have a word on a timeline, but knowing Nintendo, it could be tomorrow. It could actively be happening right fucking now.
Like it could have been on there 2 weeks ago and no one noticed.
Yeah, they're like,
And they're
oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, it's there.
Dude, and so this is all coming from rumors. This is all rumors from the Nintendo Life rumor mill and some other places that have, like, I think Eurogamer tried to
decent
confirm
source.
it. It's a good source. It's absolutely a good source, but because it's a rumor, like any news that comes out of Nintendo, we don't have any super good details, although the source did say that other retro platforms are also on the cards. So it could be Game Boy Advance we could see. Oh my god, I would kill to get Metroid Fusion on the Nintendo Switch. Would be the sickest. I mean, they're just leaving money on the floor by not doing this. They have a bunch of SNES and NES games on the Switch Online store, but nothing, as far as I know, really out of the Game Boy.
Yeah.
Just stupid. How hard is that to port? That takes you like an hour. So,
Takes one intern
one afternoon, and you guys can make $1 billion. So yeah, we don't have a list, we don't have a timeline, but keep an eye out because
this is what we've wanted, right? When
We've
they
been
first
bitching
get
about
the
this
Switch, we were like,
forever.
Nintendo needs to put
5
their
years
library
ago,
on
guys.
there. They're doing it.
Why didn't they do it
Put
earlier?
the whole library on it.
Should've
You already have
launched
everyone
with the
that's
library.
got these
It
ROM
should've
sites
launched.
and emulators that have done this for years.
Yeah,
Like-
and dude, especially back then, Nintendo had way more ownership over all the games that were on their carts, and so like, yeah, I think they have so many licenses available to them that they're just like letting sit there. So, Facebook Gaming has expanded streamers' access to licensed music. This comes to us. This was sent to me by Scottigan on Discord, so thanks for that. It turns out that Facebook has, quote, been working with the music industry to put deals in place with hundreds of labels, publishers, societies, including Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, blah, 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 blah. Guys, this is crazy to me. This is because I mean, you guys have been familiar with the DCMA takedowns that are filed on literally anyone that's doing anything on YouTube or Twitch. So you're on YouTube or on Twitch and you're playing a video game and you're streaming it. And in that game, if a song comes up, like any song, like ever written, it will flag and like they'll pull down your stream or they'll give you a strike and your account will get flagged. Like there's all sorts of consequences. And I guess I thought in my head the whole time this was happening, it was like, wow, the music industry is a bunch of pricks. Like I can't believe they're doing this. But in reality, it seems like it's like YouTube and Twitch passing the buck on something they should have handled themselves and being like, well, the creators can just handle it. You guys just figure it out. Stop streaming music. Stop playing games that have copyrighted music. They just don't give a shit.
Well, especially when you see how much those streamers make, like on a platform like Spotify or something. They only make like what is it, like a hundredth of a cent per stream or something
so
like
you
that.
play a
so
song
how
on
hard
repeat.
is it if you're like Twitch or someone to just give that to them?
Exactly.
Like
it's not hard. You just need to do what Facebook's
you
done,
lose
and
like a fraction of a cent every time someone streams, and you make way more than that off of that individual stream.
And you make your streamers happy. Which at this point, I didn't realize Facebook gaming streaming had such a strong platform, but I guess they do. And because that was where, if you guys remember, when Microsoft shut down Mixer, which was their Twitch competitor, they told everyone to go to Facebook gaming.
Yeah.
And so you've got, and YouTube, I mean, we're streaming our podcast on YouTube right now because of the platform is vastly superior. So the fact that there are these like really strong competitors out there in the market, and YouTube and Twitch, which are backed by Google and Amazon, let me remind you, are just like, meh, you deal with it. It's just beyond me now. To think that they've been doing this to the people on their platform that are bringing all the streamers in that do have an option. They do have an option to move somewhere else. And they're just like, and they're like sending them emails that are just so shitty. When you get these emails from Twitch, it's like they made no effort whatsoever to make them sound human at all. It's just like a fuck you, how dare you do this? And a lot of these people have made this into their livelihood. So imagine just like you're playing a game and some song comes on and all of a sudden like you have a strike on your account and you're like wondering why. And Twitch is doing it literally just because they're lazy. They were too lazy to go out there and talk to these labels and publishers, and they were just like, yeah, that's our solution. That was their legal team's solution, and no further thought was put into it. And I can't believe I'm here giving Facebook props for doing something like forward thinking or human remotely. But this is what they did, is they're like, do we punish all of our people constantly? Do we want to have a whole team and department dedicated to just sending emails to punish people for unintentionally playing copyrighted music on our platform?
Or
they're not doing it to be the good guy, though. They're just doing it to steal everyone else while this is happening to the other companies.
Yeah,
which boggles my mind.
Honestly, it's probably cheaper for them too to pay for the license to be able to
probably
do
not
this.
This quarter though.
Yeah,
they had to eat some quarterly profits.
Shoot! Oh no, they're only quarterly profits only going to go up by 7%. And then someone's going to get fired.
7% only. Ugh, socialists.
Kudos.
All right, Kudos is our positivity segment. We give shout out to something we're into, and this week I have none. Because everything sucks, but Peterson has some kudos.
Yeah, so actually, I'm back on the... last week I gave kudos to a trailer that I had seen for Spider-Man, and I'm just going to keep that going.
Okay.
My kudos,
I just love trailers. Short-form media, that's what Peterson's all about. Sum it up for me.
I am also about that.
Continue. Can you? I don't want to see the whole movie. Can you just give it to
8
me?
minutes?
2.5
Are you
minutes?
kidding me? That's cut that into quarters, and I'm in.
Can you do like 3-minute series?
Wait, you want me to read about the movie? Get out of here.
Oh, damn.
No, so trailers. There's been some good trailers lately. Aaron mentioned this before, but I watched it and was so stoked. Star Wars Visions. Have you guys watched the trailer for this?
I have not. But
No.
I've heard about
Is this
it.
the anime one?
Yes.
And I've heard such good things.
What it is, I think it's 7. So seven different well-known anime studios making Star Wars stories in their anime form.
Okay.
Like they did with the Matrix.
The Animatrix?
Yes.
And then they had a Supernatural one. They did a Supernatural anime.
Was a little different.
Yeah, and if you watch the trailer, they look very different.
Yeah.
It's very different styles. And honestly, this is what we're missing from Star Wars, because it is, anime is like epic and everything's just big explosions and fighting is crazy, and like that's what it looks like. It looks really great. There's one that looks straight up like an old samurai cartoon.
That's so awesome.
It's Samurai Star Wars. Guys, I don't even here's the thing. I'm not like an anime fan. I'm not against it. I'm not one of those that's like, "Oh, I hate anime." It's fine, right? I'm not into it. I'm not against it. This looked incredible, though. I am 1,000% in on this. So at least go watch the trailer for Star Wars Visions. It looks like they've opened up Star Wars to different creative minds.
Why not?
Do it. That's what we need.
You will just print money.
The other trailer that I just saw today is for the Wheel of Time series, which is going to be on Amazon Prime. If you're unfamiliar with Wheel of Time is a major fantasy saga written by Robert Jordan. And Robert Jordan, it was such an epic saga that he didn't finish it. And then it was put onto none other than the great Brandino.
Brandino.
Brandon Sanderson finished The Wheel of Time in epic fashion. Now, I haven't read it because I started reading The Wheel of Time, and this is everyone's, like 75% of people, this is their experience. They get to book 6, 7, 8, 9, and you're like, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. It starts to get too much. But a series is just what it needs, right? Because I had a hard time being like, wait, who's that? Who's this person?
Yeah, so the series is going to run for like 50 years.
If it's any good. But the trailer made it look good. The trailer made it look like there's a lot of promise. I didn't see that. Yeah, it just came out. And so check it out, Wheel of Time. If anything, even if you're not a fan of the series, the book series, this looks like it's going to be an epic fantasy.
See, I'm excited because I've been interested in the book series for years.
Dude,
but it just seems so overwhelming.
Nope, don't read
it. Reading the Game of Thrones series just seems like it's too much.
My brother-in-law bought all the audiobooks, and he was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. He stopped at book 6. He's out.
Oh, my God.
And so, don't do it. But the series, it looks like it could be really great. So I'm excited for The Wheel of Time.
Sick.
I think it comes out in November or something.
Ooh, I like that. So we have a kudos from a listener, and they left us a voicemail, so we're going to play that right now.
Hey, 3-Bit Gamer Show. This is Tim from Saratoga. Just calling in. I listened to your listener question episode recently, and you talked about wanting a game that was like Rocket League, but where you could drive around and break up your car. Well, it exists. It's a game called Wrecked, R-E-K-T, not like W-R-E-K-T, but R-E-K-T. And it's a lot of fun. It was free on the Switch a while back. It's also available on Steam. I'd take a look at it if you're really interested in running a car around and getting it destroyed. Anyway, thanks. Love listening to your show. Bye.
Well, thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
I have to say, the moment I listened to your voicemail, I went to Steam and downloaded this because the demo's free, and then I forwarded it to Trent Jackson because it looks so familiar to another game we were into way back in the day and still are. Looking at it right now, San Francisco Rush 2049. The stunt mode in that reminded me a lot. I jumped in and played Wrecked for a minute. Guys, everyone should. It's on Steam, so just go get it for free for a minute. But yeah, I'm going to be playing this with Jackson and Trent. Thank you so much for that recommendation.
Good
it
recommendation.
Is, oh my God, just so funny that he's like, yeah, it already exists.
Everything exists.
Everything's already been made.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
I missed that one. We haven't done this forever.
I know we don't do this one very often.
Good, Bad, and the Ugly is our little segment where we take an aspect of games and we talk about the good, bad, and ugly parts of that. This week we are talking, because this is inspired from one of our listener questions last week from Snorgle that I thought was absolutely awesome about game controllers, and I realized we have not done a lot of talking about game controllers.
A deep dive into controllers.
A deep dive, as it were. So we're going to do that now. We're going to do the good, the bad, and ugly of game controllers. Do you guys want to do this in an organized fashion or a whatever you want, shout them out fashion?
Everyone say yours on the count of 3. Everyone say it at the same time.
All three of them?
I'll do my good, you do your bad, JD will do his ugly, and we'll all say it at the same exact
time.
Okay,
right?
That's how
one,
no,
2, 3. Oh.
Okay. Oh.
I was ready.
No, I'm putting my foot down.
You can fix this in post.
Rude.
Yeah, you can
I'll
just
do it.
squish everything together in post.
Oh my God.
Why is this episode only 30 minutes long? Oh,
I'm trying a new thing.
I'm just mashing all this stuff together. It'll be great. Okay, well, let's start. I'll just start with a good, and
do it.
Everyone just do whatever they want. A good for me is clear button names. Button names are big deal, especially when you're in like a tutorial or like a help menu. It's like telling you how to do something. One that I really like is on the Xbox is there's the trigger, and that's the RT, or right trigger. I'm like, yeah, I can get that. And then the RB is like the right bumper, and you've got RT and RB, and I feel like they're distinct enough. B almost feels like it's like a secondary thing as well.
Or
It's
back.
or like back, and yeah. So I feel like good button names that like are intuitive. I would say the opposite of this, which is in my bad, which is kind of dumb, but is like when you have shitty naming conventions like triangle, square.
Yeah.
Like you can't say it out loud. It's okay on like on a screen when it's telling you to press triangle or square, but that is not intuitive. I don't think that's how people think.
I've got a similar bad, but we'll get there.
No, do it, Trent. What's your bad?
My bad is on that same level. It's not the square, triangle, whatever doesn't bother me, just because I'm used to the PlayStation. What I hate is when you have two controllers that are visually and functionally almost the exact same, but they have swapped letters for stuff. So like the
Nintendo.
A and B on the Nintendo versus the Xbox, it drives me nuts because if you go back and forth between those two consoles at all, your brain can't adjust.
No, exactly. I play a lot of Xbox with the kids, and then I pull up the Switch, and I'm just hitting back the whole time. I'm like, oh, damn.
Well, so Nintendo came up with the A and B button and the placement of the A and B button, and they get to own that. That's theirs.
Yeah.
But this, you can see who's to blame. The Dreamcast comes along, and they wanted to be different. It was another Japanese game company. It was the Nintendo rival. Their B and A had to be opposite. And then when the Xbox copied borrowed from the Dreamcast controller, they kept the button configuration.
So yeah, actually, you guys, this mirrored my main bad, which was I just called it button nonconformity.
Yes.
Like, okay, guys, listen. I get it. Okay, A, B, X, Y. I can understand that. Like, I can wrap my head around it.
I can't understand why those are the letters we chose.
X and Y?
Well, think about it
First
this
two,
way.
and then not the last two, but the second to last two.
Why can't we do A, B, C, and D?
Well, yeah, but if you're like saying that, B, C, and D kind of sound the same.
Yeah,
B and D, right? If you're
Y
saying
and
the
Z?
letters A, B, X, Y, those all sound very different phonetically, right?
Okay.
Maybe I can wrap my head around this, right?
Okay.
And plus, when they first, I think it was first on the Super Nintendo, right? The Super Nintendo kind of had those different. They wanted to differentiate the buttons.
Yeah, and the Genesis had C.
A, B, and C.
So they had B, C, which may have been confusing.
Yes. So, but PlayStation, like, what are you doing? I cannot. If you tell me to hit the square on the PlayStation controller, I'm like, is that B? What is square? I don't understand what the square
in other countries, in other countries, is an Xbox controller still A, B, X, Y?
I think it actually is.
I'm sure it is.
Because if it's not, that means PlayStation wins.
No,
Because
I'm sure it
shapes
is.
are
Because I think the Roman alphabet is common, or the Roman alphabet, is that what it
Okay.
is? Anyways, the alphabet we use is common enough to where they'd understand. They wouldn't be putting like Russian letters.
I did trying to find if there's a
alphabet.
Cyrillic Xbox controller.
I
There is
want
not.
it. I want a Cyrillic
is not.
Xbox
get
controller.
replacement buttons. I'm sure they exist somewhere.
Yeah, that would be
Dude,
pretty
so
tight.
funny. No, but I can't wrap my head around the PlayStation things. It makes no sense to me. There's no order that I would place circle, triangle, square, and X in if I had to make an order in my head.
Square goes before triangle, always.
Circle goes first.
Yeah, see?
Also,
he's like, you don't know anything about shape order. Dude, I don't know.
In 20 years, we're going to be like, okay, listen.
But also, X isn't a shape. So
no.
Why?
Dude, I like the theory that it's all pizza related, right?
Oh my gosh.
So the triangle is the piece
One
of pizza,
slice.
the square is the box of pizza, the circle is the whole pizza, and then the X is the slice of
the sliced pizza.
Sliced pizza.
Maybe that's how we'll start referring to it. Give me the whole box. Give me the box.
Give me the box.
Give me the whole
box.
pizza.
Click the box. Pizza box.
Just want one slice.
Pizza slice. Pizza slice.
In the future, I can't understand it. And JD also, though, I can't. If it's quick, I can't get my triggers and my bumpers, especially on the PlayStation. Doesn't the PlayStation have 2 bumpers?
No, but they have. Well, I don't know about the PlayStation.
Yeah,
5.
there's 2 top bumpers.
Oh yeah, that's
and
what
then
the
a
Xbox
trigger,
has.
right?
No.
There's one that has anyway. Or is it the Switch? I can't remember, but I can't get the button straight.
Yeah,
I cannot. I don't know, guys. There's too many buttons, and my brain already hurts.
And we got to switch between.
Because it's got like ZL. There's weird buttons on that one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like when I was playing the Pokemon game, I couldn't ever remember which button did what. I just couldn't.
You want to really mess with your brain? Try to get into PSVR, and they use the same kind of like button configuration, but everything is completely rewritten. So it's like it's not like they're not even in the same position anymore. It's like the square's over here and the triangle's there and the trigger's there and this is there, and you're like, it's tough.
Button nonconformity is my bad.
That's my bad too.
I hate it so much.
How about an ugly?
I got an ugly. Go ahead.
Every single Nintendo controller, every single one except for the Pro, has been, because it's got good aspects. And Nintendo is the controller company. They have been innovating and leading the charge on controllers ever since the first one. They went from the joystick with Atari to the Nintendo Entertainment System, and that is the same idea with the controller we have today. The buttons are on the right, the movement control is on the left.
They were the first ones to have the joystick, like with the N64.
Yep, they were the first one. Yep, with a joystick, and
the
they
N64
were the first.
Was fine.
It
wasn't awful, but
they were the first with motion controls. They had some unique things they were trying in terms of making it more ergonomic with the GameCube. But there are negative things I could say about every single one of those controllers.
Significant negative things.
Significant ones. Big negative things. The NES was too chunky and square. The SNES had... Actually, that one was actually a pretty slick controller. Still kind of square. Still boxy and really didn't fit your hands super well.
See, I was going to say, overall, Nintendo's biggest problem is ergonomics. Like, none of their controllers are comfortable to hold except for the Pro.
Yeah. That's exactly.
That's the first one. Yeah.
Awful.
So they've all been ugly.
Joy-Cons kill my. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
My big hands that don't bend. I have a Joy-Con. It hurts so bad.
Yeah. So that's my uglies. Every single Nintendo controller up to the Pro, which I don't even count as a Nintendo controller. It's literally an Xbox controller.
It's like the same exact thing.
So it's
just
the same thing. So no, I don't even count that. So every mainline controller that the Nintendo has made is ugly.
Okay.
My ugly. Yours was quite literally an ugly.
Yeah.
My ugly is that there are, and we talked about this a little bit, but okay, so there's a lot of buttons on a controller, and sometimes I can't figure out what's what. And here's my example. You know when you're playing a game and it utilizes lots of the buttons, and you're like, okay, I got this. Mm-hmm. And then you want to open up the menu.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, hit this one in the middle? No, it's not that. Or like, and then you're hitting this one. Which one pulls up my like player menu? Not like the game menu where you hit the start button, quote unquote start button, and it'll like quit, save, right? It'll pull that. But you're like, no, I need the game menu, and you're pushing all these things. And on the Switch, I'm taking screenshots and stuff.
Oh,
God. You know what I'm talking about?
The screenshot button should not exist.
I'm like, I don't want a screenshot. I want to open up the menu. And I'm like,
no.
Which one is it?
Can't do that.
That's what makes me crazy, because those buttons in the middle On the PlayStation, I love that they have that big middle one, but it's the same thing. I'm like, wait, what does this one do? What do we do? What do all these different things do? And I'm taking screenshots. I'm saving my game. I'm doing all the things that I don't want to do besides the one thing I'm trying to do. And it's just so many buttons, and
still comes down to button
and then I'm using the plus, right?
But that's not even down to controllers. That's developers half the time too.
Yeah.
Oh,
when the
true.
menu button changes between games,
Yeah.
Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2's entire button configuration.
So bad.
Shit. That was the most upsetting thing, is trying to figure out what to do in that game. And like, it was like they spitefully made the buttons that
Here's
way.
how bad it is in Red Dead Redemption 2. If any game besides that one, if you don't play for 6 months and then you pull it back up, within a minute you're like, oh yeah, I got this, and you're right back into it. Not that game. I tried to use the controller again, and I legit couldn't figure out how to aim my gun or how to switch my gun. Like, it was wild. Because the buttons were so bad. Because it was too many things they were trying to do.
Dude, I was playing Halo with Jeff the other night, and we had it on a shuffle mode where it was like every different Halo, Reach, 2, 1, all these different ones, and they all have different controllers. They all have different like loadouts and stuff, and I was able to switch between those 1,000 times easier than I was with Red Dead 2, which toward the end of playing that game, I still didn't feel like I had a grasp on it. Like the controllers, it was still such a mess. Trent, what do you got? Anything good?
My ugly is just motion controls in general.
Don't like it.
I feel like motion controls only belong in one environment, and that's VR.
Yep.
I don't want to sit down on my couch and be forced to like do aerobics the whole time. Like, I just want to sit and play the game. That's why and I haven't gotten it yet, but I want to get the Skyward Sword remaster on Switch so I can actually play the game, because that game was fantastic, but I just quit halfway through it.
It was so hard.
It was too hard. There were huge, like, sweeping motions you had to do. So I think that's one of the ugliest for me, is just that controller function at all.
I've got a good.
I want to, just because we're still on ugly, I have one more ugly, and it was kind of like my other one, but I realized it is different enough. It's ugly when a game developer or a console developer tries something new, because so many times you can end up with. I mean, I can't think of like a new controller that was like, we're gonna break onto the stage with something entirely inventive,
like
that was
brand
like
new functionality,
well received. Like, they're always like the VMUs for the Dreamcast. What an awesome novel concept to have a little screen in there, something that they still haven't revisited, but they're kind of dabbling into with the PlayStation 5. As using it as a memory card was cool, but the batteries sucked and it died after like 2 minutes, and you couldn't really use them for their intended purposes, like a mini Game Boy. So it was like ugly.
Yep.
And just like I talked about, every single
it's theoretically good.
Yeah, you bring out something new,
though.
Like, and you're like, oh, this could be really neat. This could work out. And you're like, oh, actually, there's a reason we've been doing it this way. And it's hard to get people to adjust to a new paradigm as well. So,
yep.
But sometimes they work really great.
And that's why I like what PlayStation has been doing with their controllers, because they're adding new functionality, but they're just little things.
And it's not something you actively have to pay attention to.
Yes.
It just happens. Like I was talking about last week, the trigger feedback, right?
Yes.
I didn't know it was there. I didn't have to know that I had to do anything specific. It just happened.
It's funny you didn't know it was there. I'm like, that's the thing I'm like most excited for about. Like,
I haven't read
triggers.
About the controller at all. I've just used it,
dude. And that's so funny you mentioned. This is my good. Is literally everything PlayStation is doing right now is good.
Their controllers are amazing.
Yeah,
really, they are.
They're comfortable. They have, like you said, all these iterative features. The touchpad, the speaker, which is huge. The speaker is enormous. I cannot believe Xbox just slept on that again, because it costs you nothing to put a cheap, shitty speaker in your controller. It really doesn't. Like, it would. It doesn't have less to be than nice $1. Speaker. It does not have to be nice, because that's the whole idea. People know it's a tiny, crappy speaker. But when you hear like your feet going through the grass when you're sneaking in a stealth game,
below you.
Oh my god!
Well, when you're not used to it too. When I first got when I borrowed JD's PlayStation, I was playing God of War 4. Yeah, and I would hear stuff, and I'm like, this? And I look down, I'm like, oh my god, that's coming from the controller.
Really neat.
And the color on the light will change a little bit.
And
based
it is
on
a
what's
motion
going
control.
on.
Don't forget, like you can use it to like I remember playing a game where I shook it like a can of spray paint. And I know Trent said he doesn't like that, but I feel like that's why you said it was an ugly, because sometimes it is kind of cool.
That's cool. It's more like if you're playing Mario Kart, right?
I don't want to.
And you tilt. Just if you have someone like my mom has to do motion control, she can't steer without doing this,
right?
And so if she's playing the game and steering and moving her body, it throws the whole thing off.
And the difference is the PlayStation controller is not a. It has motion controls, but it's not a motion controller.
Not its intended primary use.
You're not trying to do boxing with it, right? You just like little movements will do something.
And it gives you, it just gives those opportunities for game developers to play with it. And
most people don't, to be honest.
Which is a shame, but all the first party people do.
I only have one complaint about the PlayStation controller as a whole: the thumbsticks. I like on the Xbox controller they're offset a little bit.
Oh, you don't like that they're both down?
I don't like that they're like perfectly in line with each other. It bothers me. I don't know why.
Well, that's the thing when I'm playing because I'm so used to Xbox. When I play PlayStation, I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to use on my left hand. Am I using the joystick or am I using the D-pad?
On the Xbox, it's very clear. Like that's what you're using most of the time.
I have one thing I love about a nice controller is hand feel. And I don't mean like the way it fits in my hand. I mean the way that controller actually feels.
The plastic.
So my son, we've got a bunch of Xbox controllers because they keep breaking them and they want a new one or whatever. But the old ones, the first ones we got, they're real smooth plastic, right? It's real smooth. And then we got one last Christmas for my oldest, and it is like texture, just lightly textured. That's the only controller I want to use now. It's so nice. It just feels, and they do that for grip, right? You're playing and your hands might get a little sweaty or something like that. And the trigger has a little bit of texture to it. PlayStation does that. And it's extremely nice to have.
Grab that white one, because this is exactly what.
To have a little bit of texture.
That one's got a little texture, and this one's all like.
Yes, that's the difference. And the one we got for my son is even slightly more textured than that.
Texture on
and
this,
it is,
and it's only really on the back.
Yeah.
But oh man,
it's for
does it
grip.
Make a difference?
It does. It feels good in your hand. PlayStation does it well. Xbox, when they do it, does do it well. And the Pro controller on the Switch actually has like bumps on it,
like a little like thing.
And it doesn't bother you when it's not there.
But when you have
when you realize it's not there,
you're like, oh, this
F?
is nice.
Yeah, no, I specifically only try to generally play with that white one because it has that.
It's
texture.
got that little bit of a texture to it. That's a good for me. Oh man, I love it.
I just have one bad, and I think you're gonna like it, Peterson. Sharp edges or corners. Never on any controller should there be any corner or like an edge. If it's going to fit in my hand, I don't want
hands
that.
are not square.
I don't even want a straight line. That's why I think the Wii U was so shitty. Was because you had to hold this big square on the sides of your hand like you're holding an iPad.
Yeah.
Where you look at every game controller ever, and they're all smooth and they all curve on the outside.
Yep.
And so that's what fits better in your hand. So I hate. Don't put a sharp line anywhere. Don't put a corner anywhere on your controller. It's never going to work.
My other couple, like just on the way out, bad is when they're just completely bugged, like the Joy-Cons, because controllers are expensive. There's no way around it. Controllers are as expensive as a full-priced video game, so it is an investment, right? So when there's a bug on it, when something's messed up, because getting them fixed is a pain in the butt. Opening them up yourself is a huge pain in the butt. And then an ugly is controller skins. Because you know how you can buy like
the D brand ones?
Well, even like Nintendo has branded ones, but I don't like any of them. I never see them and I'm like, oh, that's tight. I like that. I don't like any of that. But the good side of that is Xbox's website has have you been there where you can make your own custom controller? That's awesome. And we've made some pretty sweet ones. It's very cool. My youngest son has one that we made a couple years back that looks like Pikachu. Like we just designed it with Pikachu in mind, and so it looks like Pikachu.
That's sweet.
The coloring and everything, and so that's cool. I like that a lot.
Does it cost much more to customize them?
Dude, it's not that. It was like $70, and a normal controller is like 60.
Yeah,
So
the custom ones are so sick.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It looks like, I call it Pikatroller.
Pikatroller.
And I love it. That's all I had. Yeah. 3-bit. Fudio Games. We got that serial fame because you saying our names. We in the studio playing some Fudio Games.
And drinks too.
That's right, it's Fudio Games.
And drinks.
Yeah, we playing Fudio Games.
And drinks. All right, Fudio Games is our segment where we like to compare our two favorite things, which are food and video games. This week, as an homage to Trent, we're doing all things drinks.
Drinkio Games.
That
doesn't sound the same.
Maybe we could probably come up with a better one with the word drink than we could with food.
Slurpio Games.
We got to get out of the EO Games thing.
Sodio Games.
Sodio Games.
Sodio Games.
Ah, okay. Make a new
Sodio
clip
Games.
for Sodio Games. Okay. So I will just kick us off with an easy one that Peterson came up with. What is the video game equivalent of soda with no ice?
Like a vomit. It's a vomit.
Trent, that is not a video game.
It could be. That's what it feels like.
Vomit the game.
Trent has strong opinions about drinks.
This is why
We're going to hear all of them.
I have a
I'm so
very
excited.
specific list.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. Peterson, what is your soda with no ice?
So I didn't actually do that one. I had
Okay,
other
I've
ones
got
in
one
mind,
then.
so
Okay,
you've got
I've
it.
got one. Yeah, if you guys don't have one for these, just pass. I said it's like playing a controller game with a mouse and keyboard. Because
yeah.
I don't have a categorical opposition to this like Trent does, because I feel like if a soda is served in a glass and it's cold enough, I can adjust. But it can also be really, really, really bad if you're like, oh, I want to play this controller game, and you're like trying to do it with mouse and keyboard, and it's like not working, and you can't see where you're going. That's when it's served to you warm, in a warm cup,
And it's just off.
You know,
like, it's just not. So, like, yeah,
does soda really taste this bad
it's
normally?
still soda.
Oh, God.
It's still soda.
No wonder they keep it so cold.
But it's wrong. It's wrong soda, and that's what
Wrong
this is.
soda. Yeah, exactly.
This is when you're playing. Yeah, when I'm playing, like some people can't play Rocket League with a mouse and keyboard. I do.
And see, I can make
But-
do, but I'd prefer not to.
But that's the thing. It'd be
Put
like
ice
you
in
playing
there.
Rocket League with a mouse and keyboard. You're like, this just is wrong. Like,
Kind of more to me, I feel like it would be like playing League of Legends with a trackpad.
The
'Cause we
worst-
did that.
It was the worst day of our life. Trent and I did a one-on-one trackpad battle
Oh
on
my
this
gosh.
computer and another one just like it, a 2012 MacBook Pro.
dude, I've done it too. I've done it too. It's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, in League of Legends, you need to select things with the left mouse click and then do things with the right mouse click.
Mhm.
And if you have a trackpad with neither of
Dude,
those,
it's such a mess.
So my soda with no ice was anticipating or following a game's release for a really long time, and then being massively
Anthem.
let down.
Anthem is your
Yeah, dude.
soda with
Because
no
soda
ice.
with no ice is literally just vile. I can't.
It's something Trent loves so dearly. It's so near and dear
When
to his
I-
heart.
when I
bastardized
go-
it. You've
Fucked it
ruined
up.
it.
When I'm like standing at a soda fountain with someone and I see them just try to fill a cup with just straight from the machine with no ice,
slap it
person's
out of their
insane.
hand.
You don't
Slap
get to
it out
drink
of-
that. Go have water.
That person is barely human.
Trent just marks them off in his head. He's like, never talking to them again. What a psychopath.
I can't think of a single drink, like not even just soda, a single drink that's okay without ice. Milk's better with
Milk.
ice.
Milk
Dude, I
is
drink
really...
milk with ice. I don't drink milk at all anymore, but
Oh.
I always had it with ice.
Dude, I have milk as one of my drinks on here.
Okay, what about... what is the Coke versus Pepsi of video games?
I mean, for me, this was an obvious low-hanging fruit. This is the console wars.
Right.
Because, let's be honest.
No one cares about it anymore.
There is a difference between Coke and Pepsi. They do taste slightly different, but to be honest, they're cola-flavored.
No one
Like, if you
cares.
gave
You're
me
just
a
wrong
cola-flavored candy, I'd be like, yes, this is cola.
Trent's
and
getting
that's
so triggered.
Coke
Oh my
and
God.
Pepsi. Like, there is a difference, but it's honestly, it's not big enough to make me mad or to care that much about it. I'm not staunchly Coke or staunchly Pepsi, and people that are weird because they're both good. They're
it's
both
like people
cola.
that are staunchly Nintendo or
yes,
PlayStation.
It's like,
nobody
Xbox, and you're
cares.
like, dude, you're playing the same game on a different console. What? It doesn't matter.
Okay, Trent, defend yourself.
Here we go.
Okay.
By the way, Trent leaned back and
took a deep breath, found his center, and was like, God, I need a minute.
and that we're not exaggerating.
Without hesitation, every single time we go to a restaurant and Annie orders a Diet Coke and the waiter says, "Is Pepsi okay?" Annie immediately responds with, "Yeah, is Monopoly money okay?"
That is going to be the sassiest thing Annie has ever
Annie
said.
says that?
Holy
So
shit.
my comparison, the only Pepsi I like is this zero sugar Pepsi, because it tastes. Pepsi to me is like it is the cheap substitute.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
What I compared it to is Mario Kart versus any other karting game.
Oh.
You know it's a cola, yeah, to your point, you know it's a cola, but it doesn't ever feel like anything but a watered-down version of the better thing.
It's not the cola you want.
It's not the cola you want.
It's not the good thing. It's a knockoff.
It is a knockoff.
Dude, I can't. I'm not gonna be able to get over that the rest of the day.
Has she gotten like good responses off
She
that?
always, she's not saying it like rude. She'll
Right,
like
no.
be giggling.
Right.
But I guarantee they get it a lot.
Oh
People
my
that are
God.
like big Diet Coke people get really mad when they don't
People
get
care.
their
Just
Diet
like
Coke.
Nintendo people, you're like, no, that's what they play. They play Nintendo.
By the way, another weird soda thing. This has nothing to do with Fudio Games, but when I worked at restaurants, every time someone asked for Mountain Dew, because we never had it on tap, like, oh, we don't have that. Every single time they ask for
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, you got to
Can I get Mountain Dew? Oh, we don't have it. I'll just do Dr. Pepper then. Every time.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know
That's
what
weird.
the Dew Pepper connection is, but that's a thing.
I like to go off cola. I generally go off cola.
And maybe
when
that's
I'm
what
getting
it
a
is.
soda fountain drink. So
Okay.
yeah,
Off cola.
I go off cola. So that's where I totally understand the desire to go into Dr. Pepper from Mountain Dew. I guess I don't know.
I mean, it's still caffeine. I don't know.
Okay, so we have a list of specific drinks, and feel free to throw out any that you have on your own. Just grab root and growl.
Can I start with one?
We have to do Sunny D though. That's
And we'll
actually
do
a
that.
rule.
We'll do that one.
Okay.
But let me just do, since we were talking about it just barely. I had Coke. For me, Coke is not a specific game. It is game descriptions.
It's like
And
Nintendo.
Here's what I'm talking. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, here's what I'm talking about. You can say, "Oh yeah, I want a Coke." You're like, "Oh yeah, this game's a platformer. This is a platforming game." Okay. And then you're like, "Oh well," and then it's never that. It's like, "Oh yeah, I need a 32-ounce cherry vanilla Coke Zero from the tap with pebble ice." With no straw. And that's what game descriptions are like these days now. Like, this is a 3D top-down isometric
It's everything.
platform,
Open world,
roguelite platformer,
co-op,
adventure mystery
screen.
puzzle. And you're like, well, I don't understand.
That's too many words.
Yes, dude, that's what.
Is it like Nintendo?
This,
So
yeah,
how close to a Nintendo is this?
is this a platformer? Yeah, you can just have a Coke.
Is this
then.
like a Mario?
Dude, that's what it is. It is these. It's these specific sodas that people are getting really specific about. It's game descriptions.
I
They're
love
so
that. That
so
is
specific
hilarious.
that.
Oh my God.
So that's Coke for me.
Dude, I got to do Sunny D.
Okay, do
Sunny D for me is achievement hunting, in that I used to like it a lot more when I was a kid. Like, I loved it, went out of my way to do it. But now if I run across it, it's absolutely by accident. If like I find myself drinking a Sunny D, it's because I'm like at a catered event and I didn't want to drink soda, and I'm like, I guess I'll go with this type of
you had a
sugar water.
barbecue and you open up the cooler and it's full of Sunny D's.
Yes, and I'm like, I guess I'm drinking Sunny D tonight. Just like if I get a notification that's like, hey, you unlocked an achievement, I'm like, oh, I guess I unlocked an achievement. I'm not going out of my way for a Sunny D. Like, I'm not going to like run over kids at halftime at a soccer
not
game
gonna
to
turn
make
it down,
sure
are you?
I get the Sunny D. Yeah, but I'm not going to turn it down.
But
It's kinda
I'll
cool.
even piggyback off of that, because achievement hunting is so pointless. You get nothing from it. There is no like reward for it besides the achievement. It's pointless, just like Sunny D.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna drink orange juice, just drink orange juice, not chemical chemical
Unless
sugar
you're talking
water.
about Tang.
Because oh god,
Yeah, Tang is the only one that gets an excuse, and it's
Tang
because
is more like Kool-Aid.
astronauts drink it, and that's cool. Everything else does not get a pass.
Sunny D is not orange juice. They are not the same.
Why are
If
they
I-
even pretending?
Yeah, exactly. So like if I'm gonna
Is
drink
orange juice not readily available? And
Wha-
is Sunny D like notably cheaper than orange juice? Because I feel
It
like
is
it may
not.
be $1 cheaper.
But it for sure doesn't have pulp. I don't have to worry about it.
Is that it? People are like, they can't buy no pulp orange juice, and they're like, I'll just get Sunny
I'll
Sugar
get
Water
Sunny
D
D.
instead.
Sunny sugar.
No,
water
I think
tea.
genuinely, I would say if you had to poll people, like exit poll them as they're leaving the grocery store with Sunny D in their bag, 50% or more would say they thought it was orange juice, straight up.
Like,
Or they
oh
just
yeah,
like
this
the
is orange
commercial.
juice. Mm-hmm. Well, it was between that and purple stuff.
They're like purple stuff and orange juice, and I really like the Sunny D commercials when I was a
so
kid.
funny.
What about any of these others? Grab some.
I got
Trent?
another random one. I got straw size.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a really important one for me.
I feel
Oh my
like
God,
I
dude.
feel like he's passionate about
I know,
this.
he just like looked really deeply into my eyes.
I actually got in an argument about this just last night. So
his
so-
wife and him are not talking.
Well, so we go to
over the
Swig
straw
like
size
every
debate.
day, right?
Yeah.
And Swig is out of their normal straws right now. So
Wait,
all
you
they
go to a
have-
competitor for drinks?
dude, because I live like 20 minutes away from Crave.
Oh, tight. Okay.
So, and there's a Swig literally like a block from my house. But
Gots
for
to.
some reason, this company that doesn't do anything but serve drinks is out of regular straws, and they have been for the last week. So they only have these boba straws that are like
The big
No.
fat ones.
They're like
No.
probably a half inch in
So
diameter.
I feel like I'm getting waterboarded when I drink my soda?
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And
No.
You're like,
and to add to this, the other place that their default straw is like a thick, fat straw is McDonald's. And everyone claims McDonald's Diet Coke tastes better because they have that thick, gross straw.
No.
I am a believer that the thinner the straw, the more concentrated the dose of the drink you're getting. So you get more flavor, you get
Well-
the right amount of bubbles. Because
In
it's
Trent's
forcing
perfect
it
world,
through like a
in Trent's
small
perfect
space.
world, he's got an insulin needle, and he's just like,
I'll tell you,
squirting
if
it in his
anyone
mouth.
wants to know where you can get the best straws in Utah, Holiday gas stations. They're the thinnest straws. But
This is the craziest shit.
Okay, so like the boba straw, I get being out on that, but the rest of the straws are like it's like normal straws, boba straws,
Dude, no, like the
or
McDonald's
the coffee
straws in
straws,
between.
like those two teeny, like those.
there
little
is too
ones.
small. Coffee straws are too small.
Yes, you're sucking
But we got
so
this straw.
hard.
We got this straw last night, and I told Danny I couldn't drink it till we got home because the straw was so disgusting to me. I wasn't even going to try. But my comparison to this of things that are good in small doses are competitive PvP games. So that's my comparison to like
Oh, okay.
straws, how it's better when it's small. It's better when I have them in small doses. Because anytime I play a game like a MOBA or an FPS or anything that has like a PvP mechanic where I have to play against other people, if I play it for more than like an hour or two, it just puts me in a bad mood. It makes me angry. So I
You
can't
just
do
start.
it.
It's like you're choking on a
Yeah,
big go
I
boba.
love it
Gold.
in just
Big
little
old
amounts.
straw. Trent, if you, I don't even know if I want to ask this, but have you come across these paper straws?
I don't want to talk about it.
Because they're fucking miserable.
They are miserable. They like disintegrate in your mouth.
And the mouth is
Yeah.
it's got the wrong mouth feel.
Yeah.
and to
dude.
counter that, have you ever used a
Terrible.
metal straw?
Love those.
Yeah, metal
dude. I
straws
was
are
thinking,
dope.
Trent,
Any
if you-
hard straw, like hard plastic, like the reusable plastic ones, like I'm fine with those.
But not the paper.
Paper is
Here's
like
how you invent the ideal straw. And Trent gave me this inspiration when he was talking about the boba straw. So you take a boba straw, right? And it's metal. And you put a smaller straw inside of it, also metal. That smaller straw inside, you don't suck through, though. That just holds the liquid in there. So the interior of the straw is all super cold, even if you're pulling liquid through it. It's
So
going
you
to
don't
stay
freeze
super
your
cool.
lips.
Yeah, and so you're sucking in the circle around the smaller straw in the bigger boba
It's
straw.
the same idea as this.
Yeah.
It's like a tumbler in straw
I guess
form.
I'm just gonna ditch the straw and drink it like a cup. I just
You don't want this fucking Iron Man straw that we're inventing right now that goes and like does all sorts of
it's
things.
got a battery
got
in
a
it for
light.
some reason.
I told
Keeps
you. I
shorting
told you
out right in my mouth.
all of my Sodio games were very specific.
and I love it.
Actually, I
more
just
than
wanna-
anything.
Just turn the segment over to Trent. Trent, get
Trent,
through
give us
your-
another
yeah,
one.
Just
'Cause
get through
I'm
these.
so
This is all I want to hear.
We'll go to my perfect one.
Okay.
My perfect soda or my perfect drink is a Diet Dr Pepper with coconut,
Coconut, I knew
and
it.
Pebble Ice in a tumbler. because it stays cold forever. And this is the one time it's okay to not drink out of a straw, because if you have Pebble Ice, it's just small enough to fit through the little hole that you're drinking.
So you can get
out.
a couple
so you get a
pebs.
a few pebbles in your mouth, and you can chew on them while you're drinking your soda. It's like the most amazing experience. So my comparison
I love
to that
being so specific about this.
Is just my perfect gaming experience. So my perfect gaming experience is like one of three things. It's playing like a league night type scenario where you have like a core group of people that are on every week, and it's always a good time. Or like a JRPG or something from one of my favorite series that I just always know is going to be good. Even if it's a sequel that has new mechanics and stuff, I know it's going to be good. So that's like my reliable, I always can go to it.
Or it's 1999. You and your buddies it's a Friday night. You've got pizza, soda, and Halo.
Oh, my God. And someone rented a movie from Blockbuster to watch when you're all tired. It's GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Trent, is number 3, I wanted to guess number 3. Is number 3 like one of your crazy World of Warcraft LAN parties?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I actually, my description of
That's
friends
the boba straw?
That's the boba straw.
Just way too much.
Those are like, you can only do them occasionally.
And you start throwing up at the
always,
end
I don't
always.
like to be physically around people.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
No, my third one was just like a good RPG with like a solid progression system, good loot, whatever.
Oh,
like
you can just sink time
Just
into.
something that you can just lose yourself in. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Let's see. I have one more
Okay.
that I just want to do. Milk. Because we got to talk milk. Milk is a drink.
Got to talk milk.
And
milk is a drink.
Is a drink.
It is
Last time I checked.
Bad drink.
Wrong.
So look, milk. So milk for me is Candy Crush, and here's why. This is an intro game. Just like milk is often the first liquid that people drink, right? Humans. It's your intro food. Just like Candy Crush, it's your starter game. It's easy to get into. But much like Candy Crush, if I decide to drink a glass of milk, I'm probably going to spend too much time on the toilet. Like if I play Candy Crush, I'm going to sit on the toilet for way too long.
That's nice. Nice turn of phrase, as it were. I like that. I like what you did with that. Funny.
So that's milk because I'm mildly lactose intolerant. Plus, we've talked about this before. I cannot... The thought of drinking a glass of milk with a meal to me is so disgusting.
Isn't it, though?
Oh,
the thought of drinking a glass of milk, period, at this point in my life is pretty gross.
So
to me.
Gross.
Milk makes me so happy, you guys. I drink like a half a gallon every couple days.
I'll drink cereal milk.
I don't even finish the cereal milk. I just eat as much cereal as I can using the milk, and then I dump the rest out. I don't even drink the cereal
bowl
milk.
of cereal.
Yeah, start a new one.
It's like
sounds
cooking
like
with bacon grease.
See, for me, this is great because this is we already figured this out. Milk for me is the way I play games, which I have learned. I've come to learn in my years playing games that I play games very weird.
Yep,
I play them very distinctly, and I play them my own way. So much so that when people like want to play certain games with me because I've been playing them for thousands of hours, and I'm like, I don't think it's gonna work.
You don't want to play.
You don't want to play with me. And I didn't realize this. It took me so long. Just like with milk, I thought every human on Earth drank milk. Turns out only like 15 to 20% of people can actually like metabolize it properly. And I'm like, whoa. No one likes milk as much as me. No one drinks like a glass every morning and
drink
every night.
Drink a warm glass of milk before bed.
No, cold, baby.
Warm
milk
milk
to your doorstep.
Dude, sometimes I drink
week.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I drink a glass of milk before I go to bed, and I'm like, all right, time for bed, and then I'll stop and be like, damn, I need another glass of milk, and I'll go just fill up another and just sit there and chug it. I've gotten up to 3 before.
What?
Because I've just been feeling it. Usually there's a Crave cookie involved because you got to drink milk between like a sip between every single bite.
For real though, last time I drank milk was when I ate a Crave cookie,
Really?
and I was like, I feel like this is too thick in my mouth.
You have to rinse them down.
It was which one was it? It was the Brookie. The Brookie. It was like real thick in my mouth, and I was like, I gotta drink some milk or something.
But yeah,
sometimes those end up a little thick.
No, I mean it's good.
It's good.
It's so good.
The Brookie is rich.
It's
that one is
so
a milk.
good.
There are definitely cookies that I'm like, this one demands milk.
Oreos, I got to dip.
The Oreos, you need milk.
It's got like frosting on it.
Any of your peanut butter ones, I'm actually good without milk because they're so good. I want them in my mouth forever. But yeah, I'm a huge milk guy, and no one else is. No one else.
That's the way JD
plays chivalry in their own head, like they're role playing to themselves quietly.
In Age of Empires, JD has named every individual unit.
Yeah,
and he's
I'm
like
getting
going all
really
slow.
connected.
These are my friends. He's zoomed in all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh, what you doing today,
Dude,
Sally?
This is so fucking funny because I accidentally killed. You know, in FTL, Faster Than Light, you can send your guys like a boarding party onto the enemy ship. Well, I was fresh to this. I'd forgotten how to do the boarding, and I'd forgotten a lot of stuff. And I sent a boarding party of 2 people who I'd been playing with for like an hour and a half. And I accidentally had my guns on auto fire and killed them. Just destroyed the ship that I just sent them to board. And my hands just shot up to my head. And I just like sat there for like a full minute, like aghast, as if an actual person had died. Before I was like, get a grip, JD. It's okay. But I was like, holy shit. I react the same way if I accidentally step on a spider. I was like, no! Damn it!
Oh, no, spiders I don't care.
Jonathan loves spiders.
I love spiders. I love all animals, but spiders are dope as hell.
No, I don't like spiders.
No, they're all dope.
So Trent, give us some more. Do you have any more?
I got some good. I'm sure he's got some good ones.
I did. Here's one off the list. I did Kool-Aid, and I said Kool-Aid was Fortnite, but I'm mostly just comparing it to the Kool-Aid man or the Kool-Aid guy. You know, he breaks through your wall and he's just annoying and he won't go away.
Wait, why isn't that skin in Fortnite? It's too big.
That's
Hitbox would be too
insane.
big.
It should
be too big. They had Thanos. They can have the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, but like they can thin down Thanos a little
has like
bit.
a huge hitbox.
He's a Kool-Aid pitch. It's like just a thinner pitcher.
They just
changed his
He
pitcher
just
style.
dances around bullets if it's not hitting his hitbox.
I want that skin, by the way.
Yeah,
and he's like bleeding Kool-Aid as you shoot him. He's patching it up instead of.
Oh my god! And it explodes.
No, it even makes sense because you drink the potion to get shield. He's just feeling himself back
Throwing
up.
it up into the top of his head. Now I want a Kool-Aid man game. Period. Where all of the characters are different Kool-Aid men,
and your health bar is just the pitcher,
and it empties out, so it's a visual indicator
clean
of your
UI.
own health.
You're bleeding.
It's a very clean UI. Kool-Aid man multiplayer action game.
Kool-Aid. Wait, you need more tags.
It's like Chex
multiplayer, 2D, 3D,
roguelite,
action
co-op,
adventure, co-op.
But Quest is spelled with a
RPG.
K.
Quest with a KW.
KW. Kool-Aid Quest.
Bet we both got that at the same time.
That sounds great.
Oh, man. Wait, what is...
I just typed it out. That is the worst thing we've ever done on this podcast. 230 episodes. Kool-Aid Quest is the worst thing
and we said it simultaneously.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Wait,
Trent,
what was Kool-Aid? Oh, it was Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Right.
Do you have more?
Yeah. Another specific-y one. Like a foam cup versus like a plastic cup.
Wait,
like drinking. So like if you go to the gas station and get a drink, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get it in like a plastic.
Trent hates this.
They don't keep it cold. You get like water, garbage drink.
Yeah,
this is mobile gaming for me.
You like foam cups better?
Foam cups are infinitely better because they keep. If you don't have a tumbler, you got to have a foam cup.
Okay.
And new foam's like recyclable and stuff. There's
it is?
There's fancy foam. Yeah, like our foam's like 99 something recyclable.
So I shouldn't be throwing it in the garbage?
No, you can recycle it.
Damn it!
Foam you can?
There's specific foam you
Trent's
can
foam.
get. Yeah. Because but it's like the bait and switch kind of idea. Like when you go to get a drink in like a plastic cup, and then like any of the cups you get from like McDonald's and stuff, they get all watered down. Mobile gaming to me, all the time I'll finally see a mobile game that looks like it's gonna catch me. It'll be like there was one, it was Lineage 2 or something. It's an MMO that they converted to mobile, and then it had some stupid autoplay feature where it just played itself, and a ton of games have that now. So it's like it baits you in thinking it's going to be something good, and then it's just garbage. And I don't know the last time I had a mobile game that wasn't. So,
yeah, they're all bad now. I've tried lots, and they're just bad. And I know someone's going to write in and say, "What have you tried this game?"
I think the audience is like filtered down, and that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Like we have all self-selected out of mobile gaming, whereas we used to play a lot more.
I still try.
Everyone I know that we used to play like Clash of Clans.
I just downloaded a new one today, but I haven't
they just don't play
yet.
games the way that we used to play games on their phones, and so I think they're just targeting the people that are left.
When Pokemon Unite comes out on mobile, I'll play that.
Oh yeah, that'll be sick.
I had one more. Can I do it real quick?
Yeah.
Because this is I was trying to think. I've been playing. I jumped back in. I've been playing a lot of No Man's Sky. I don't know why it sucked me back in, but No Man's Sky is like that big, like 64-ounce drink that's like the ones you get at the movie theater.
Oh, yeah. Or the ones you get at Crave.
And you're just sitting there with this gigantic
I wish
cup.
we could get 64-ounce cups.
I know.
You're sitting there with a giant cup.
So sad.
And you're sipping on it. And here's the thing. No Man's Sky is I start playing it. I'm like, yes, this is so good. And then I'm 50 hours in. And I'm just like, what am I trying to do? I'm just like getting tons of money, but I don't even have anything I want to spend it on.
Yeah.
I'm just playing it just to play it, and I'm enjoying it, kind of. That's how it is at the big 64-ounce movie theater drink. The first, I don't know, third, I'm like, oh, this is good. Like,
so
it's quenching my
icy.
thirst. And then the rest of it, I'm just drinking because I have
Trent
it.
could not relate
like,
to this.
What's the point?
Well,
I'm just
kind of.
sipping on it.
I'd
Like,
be
I'm not
crap,
thirsty.
if I finish this, I'm going to miss half the movie.
That's true.
That's true. But I'm sipping on it because I'm not thirsty. I'm just sipping on it because it's there. And that's how a lot of these games, these survival games are. So fun, so fun, so fun. And then you kind of get to this point where you're like, what
Why
am I
still
trying to
playing
do
this?
here now? I don't even know what I'm trying to do. I'm going to sip on it. I'm going to keep drinking it. I don't know why, though.
Valheim was more like 44 ounces. And we got to the end, and we were like, we were still sipping those last like 4 or 5 ounces.
Yeah, and you like
why?
you open it up, and you're like tipping some of the
Okay.
ice, and you're like, hey, where's the rest of that soda? I just
be
want a little
more.
bit more.
Trent, why can't you get 64-ounce cups?
They just don't make 64-ounce cups that 64-ounce foam cups that fit in drink holders.
Yeah, they're freaking gigantic.
That's lame. They should invent those.
They should invent
Trent,
those.
make your own.
If I-
It's like a funnel,
Or just
It's
like a policy at Crave, if I pull up with like one of those big gulps that has a big handle and like you have to put it on the seat of your car,
Oh my god!
then you buckle it in. You should fill those for me.
Should fill those for
That's
you.
how much I want.
Dice of Destiny.
All right, Dice of Destiny is this fun little game we play at the end of every episode. We roll a 6-sided dice to see who will be responsible for the Dice of Destiny, which is a 20-sided dice with 20 different game genres assigned to it. That person then rolls a 6-sided dice to see how much money they can spend on the game. Then they find a game in that genre for that price, pick it, play it, review it. Peterson a couple weeks back, 2 weeks, whatever, rolled... What did you roll? RTS?
I rolled a turn-based strategy for I think $60 or $50 or
Any
something.
amount of money.
And so I chose last week a game that came out in July called Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector. I keep having to write this down because if I hadn't looked at it right now, I couldn't tell you what the game is called. Warhammer games, for some reason, every name is the same to me.
I always wonder why they landed on 40,000. Like, why? Not 10, not 20.
Oh, there's a lore thing for it. I guarantee it, but I don't know either.
It's just 40 was the number they wanted.
And I always thought it was like 40K. I think that's just what people say because this definitely says the number 40,000.
40,000, right.
So I've been playing a little bit of this game, but I am going to take a pushback one more week mulligan because we recorded on Monday this week when I was late picking it. Usually when I get a dice roll, I pick it within a couple days, start playing it. Mm-hmm. By the time announcement has come, I've already put in a lot of hours. This time I was late picking, and so I've only played it a few times. Just the quick version is that I think it's very good. I actually think it's a fantastic game, but I don't want to review it yet because I know for a fact there's still stuff that I haven't unlocked. For example, one of the key things in Warhammer 40,000 is the specific weapons because you have your guys and they've got a unit cost, and then you can upgrade. You put different weapons in their hands, like actually on the models, you can put a different weapon in their hand and put that on there, and that has a cost as well, right? If you have better weapons, it costs more because then each level you're like, okay, you get 700 points total. So whatever group of guys you want to use for this 700, do that. I have not unlocked changing out their weapon loadouts. I can see that it's possible, but I haven't unlocked that yet, and I'm several hours in, so I don't want to review it until I get... Because that is like a key component of Warhammer.
Yeah.
And so but I will say so far this game is very much like playing the tabletop game.
Ooh, that's sick.
And it's similar to like an XCOM-ish type of thing with groups of units, and it's like the tabletop game. So, guys, it's really good, but I'll give you the full review next week of Warhammer 40,000.
Look, man, the
Battle Sector.
Battle
Sector.
The thing is, like with dice, I totally am down for the for the mulligan. Because
every now and then take a
sometimes
mulli.
you need that extra time in it. And you're like, there's just something more. So
there is something else. So yeah, I'll do it next week. I'm really into this game right now, though.
Love that. Cool, guys. Well, that does it for us this week. To play us out, we have a Sunny D commercial.
And it's my favorite one.
See if you can figure out what the tagline is.
I'm JD, shining on.
This is Peterson.
Sunny taste.
Sunny taste. Sunny spirit. Sunny D.
And this is Trent signing off.
This is Trent bringing out the best in kids.
The best in kids.
Open a bottle of sunshine.
Peterson Productions. Oh yeah.